Good morning. Hey, my little sugar wookers. What's up? How y'all doing? You just a few minutes to come in. Y'all hear me? All hoarse this morning. I'm here. But from what I was reading, winter is just about over here. We having spring days now, y'all. It's up in the 70s. All is good in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So one good thing about living in this area, if you do not like the weather today, as it has been said many times before, stick around. It's not going to last long. Hey, Miss Sarge. Good morning. How you doing? Guess what? It's Friday and is been at first it seemed like the week was passing kind of fast to me. And then all of a sudden it slowed down. And then I looked up, today is Friday. It's what happens when you busy, busy, busy. Got things you got to do, deadlines and stuff you got to meet. It's here and it's gone. But yeah, today is Friday, another weekend. We made it through another week. It's 61 in Carolina. I don't know. It's been 70 here most of the week. I haven't checked the temperature this morning to see what it is. Don't have a clue. Mm-mm. Okay. Y'all come on in, come on in. I haven't been really watching too much of what the president is doing. I've come to a point in my life with him after keeping him up with him for several days, just every little thing he was doing and all the executive orders that he's been signing. I'm like, man, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and God's gonna step in and he gonna stop you too. There's nobody unstoppable. I think some people just think they can just go on and they can just continue with life as it is and knowing they doing the wrong thing and just do it anyway. I would rather stop myself than to sit up and allow somebody else to that's a higher being to stop me. Good morning, Pierre. How are you? It's just so much going on in the world now. You just cannot keep up. So when I was reading this morning, I saw where a plane vanished in Alaska with 10 people on board. I'm like, the whole plane just vanished. What's going on with all these planes today? If they're not dropping to the ground, they hitting in mid-air. Now here one and vanished. Does anybody ever stop to just look at what is really going on in the world and it just like boom? 3 weeks ago, this all started. We hadn't had anything going on for a long time with aviation department. And then when he went in there and he started messing with the aviation department, it's like now it's almost scary to get on a plane. It's almost like a suicide mission when you think about it. Are you gonna come back? Are you gonna even make it to your destination? So you know me, I think deep and I'm like, is somebody bothering these planes? Because surely the pilots, when they go up there, they're going up there to get to their destination and to get a paycheck. So I can't even think that it's that many pilots that don't feel like they're gonna make it back home or want to make it back home. So then I started looking at the mechanics of the plane. Are these planes being checked before they go up there? Then I went and I started looking at air traffic control. And I'm like, something has to have changed with that because there's no way that two planes ought to be on the same path. One should be higher, one should be lower. They should never be lining up where they'll collide together. Hey, Nawatha, good morning. Hi, Miss Jean, how you doing? Elaine. So I just thought about that for a little while, and then I said, you know what? This is all in God's control too. Man, if it's his fault, and that's the reason why the planes are coming down, it'll all come out in the wash. It ain't nothing you gonna do or say that's not gonna come out in the wash eventually. That's just the way it is. Then I went on to read it, and I say, here we go. Second article. Texas has removed 1.7 million people from the healthcare plan. How is that going to help those people who are not sick when those who have been removed from the plan can't afford to go to the doctor? Ain't nothing that is happening right now is good for nobody. And if you don't take the time out your busy schedule to take a look at what's going on, I just don't know what to tell you. I'm not telling you to worry about it because this is all way above anything we can do about it. Just be aware about it. It is a boy, and they are still working out their kinks from plane incidents. Mhm. So basically, what you just said is Boeing made the plane, and they're still working out their kinks from plane incidents. But these planes weren't tested like back in the day before they were put in the air. And Boeing been making planes for a long time. I just, you know, I just don't get it. Miss Jean say it's madness. It is pretty much. Hey, Reba, Glamour 3, good morning. How you doing, Reba? Glad to see you, Reba. So it's just like, man, here we go again, day after day after day. You really have to stop and put yourself in a good frame of mind. Because when you got all this stuff going on in the world is so chaotic around you. Um, you just don't know from day to day what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. And a lot of it was just so unnecessary. I don't think anybody thought when this president went into the White House that we would have as many problems as we're having. But we are. It's happening. This too shall pass. A lot of y'all came into the comments after the live I did on him and said, God is in control. Believe that. Believe it. And I know it might even make you question, well, when is he coming? When is he gonna stop it? When is he gonna do something? It's a lesson in all of this for us. First of all, it's my belief that when things like that happen, it's your time. We tend to think that everybody's gonna grow old. Everybody is just gonna pass away, just when they grow old. No, he never told you that. So why waste time when you got time to really go out and enjoy your life and do things and You just got to keep on living. That's the best advice I can give you because it can become depressing. I had a lady that called me last night, and that's what she wanted to talk about. All the things that he was doing. And I just listened and I just listened. And I said to myself, you were there the first week when all of this was happening because you were just so astonished that this could happen so fast. But then when you stopped and you looked at it and you realized that all of this was already planned, then he's just carrying out the plan of what he already had. The sad part about it is that we had a man along with him with so much money and so much power, with the two of them running the country, expect anything. Um, Lady JJ is speaking, and she said, did you hear about the plane in Alaska, Brazil, and the Philippines? I only heard about the one in Alaska, not the one in Brazil or the Philippines. So that's three of them. No. And now we don't have that long before spring around the country. I mean, here in South Texas, we already looking at spring days. Um, it's probably in the 70s. It's been 70 all week long. So people are starting to prepare for vacations. Now, when you start to prepare for a vacation, you don't include that a plane not coming back or vanishing in the air, or all the things that's been going on. You plan to get away, enjoy yourself. You've been working all year long. It's time to take a break. And that's what you look forward to. Reba saying, yes, Lady JJ, that's wild. The whole thing is wild. It's a wild, W-O-W, wild, and wild. It's both of them. I ain't never seen or heard of nothing like this in my life. We supposed to be the country that is so plentiful with everything, and we got the highest technology in the land, and we're putting planes out here like that. I don't know. Um, let me see. Good morning, Miss Lee. Before, how are you? Boo Master, hello. How are you? So, with that, with planes dropping and colliding and clashing mid-air and stuff, I'm not too apt to want to get on a plane right now. I've always read, even when I was working in aviation, it never bothered me to get on a plane or in my travels around the country. It didn't never bother me. I never thought twice. I did like a normal day, no different than when I go out there to get in my car. I felt like, I was going to drive to the best of my ability. When I got on the plane, I was going to like sit down, read a book, have a drink if I wanted to. If I didn't, if it was early morning, have my coffee, look out the window for whatever I could see, look at the cloud formations, talk to the person on the side of me, reach my destination, get off, and be gone. But it's a scary situation now. It really is. You just have to trust and believe in God. And if it's your time, it's your time. That's all I can say about that. And then with we were already in such a struggle. Now, so many people are going through grief processes. That's not easy. I've always looked at the grief process like a clock, and it's 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And going through a grief process for me has been like you start at 12 and you got to tick all the way around. Now you down to 6. You got to go all the way back up to 12 again. And it's a process. It doesn't happen for everybody at the same time. Some people go through it longer. They can't release it and let it go. Everybody grieves at a different rate of speed or at a different rate of time. And you have to respect that. I think the thing of it is now is people show you they don't respect anything. They'll say it, but in reality, they don't mean it. Um, Boo Master say, do you know about Palestine and Israel? They are in war. I haven't really been keeping up with Palestine and Israel, to be honest, because of so much going on here in the United States. And in my state alone, having so many Hispanics here who actually voted him in, and now their families are being ripped apart, health care being taken from a whole lot of people here who live in Texas, stores closing left and right. The economy is getting bad. I just really haven't had time, to be honest with you, Boo Master, to see what was really going on in Palestine and Israel. Um, Ms. V, before the pilots go on plane, are they given a random drug test? No. That drug test are like everybody else's drug tests. It's random, but you don't know when it's gonna happen. But it's not every time unless they've changed it here lately, because I haven't been um, traveling or working for the airport or the airlines in a few years now. But when I was there, Miss Audrey, no, they did not. It was random. But when they first started doing it, they caught a lot of people on alcohol and drugs. They did. And they had to remove those pilots. And they had a program for them, just like, most companies. They'll pay for it if you go in and get yourself together. Then you got to go back through flight training again. But I'm not sure as to what their standards are right now. Good morning, Princess. How you doing, Princess? Um, you're Puerto Rican? Is that what you wrote? Boo Master? Okay. And Mexican. Okay. Um, well, I got a question for you. Being part Mexican, how do you feel about the election, uh, Boo Master, with so many Mexicans actually getting him to office? How do you feel about it? You feel like that was a mistake, or they were unaware that this thing was going to turn out like it did? Okay. You saying you hate it. Well, it's a little late, but like I said, I refuse to allow it to worry me. The Bible has always told you that there will be wars and rumors of wars. So this is something to be expected. And we've had our share, and we may have another one if we don't stop meddling with so many people around in different places. I often wonder if we have the military, the manpower, as well as the weapons that we need now, because we're not fighting wars like we did in World War I, World War II, Vietnam War. That was more a battle on a field. Now, it's like they're using weapons of mass destruction. It's more of putting something into the atmosphere that you breathe in. That's why you see them with the big gauze stuff on them now, the goggles that they wear. We have become so high tech and the military planes that they have now, even, that they can drop bombs with. It can destroy and wipe out so fast. But what we have to think about is that we're not the only one, the only country that has that. And I think that's where we need to come back home and mind our business. Okay. Um, what happened to Lady JJ? Let me get my phone and go back up because I can't go back up on the computer. Miss V, when I get in my car, I ask God for traveling mercy. Yes, indeed. Every day. Okay. I'm trying to find out what happened to Lady JJ. Lady JJ say something in the milk ain't clean. It is. And you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Something is going wrong. Okay, I'm trying to find out. I saw some condolences to Lady JJ, and now I don't see it. Okay, Miss Audrey saying, Miss V, those 67 passengers that were killed with the families receive money from the crash. Eventually, they should. I don't see what I saw condolences to Lady JJ, and now I'm trying to find it. Hold on, y'all. Oh, right. I'm grieving. Lost my big brother 12:30. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lady JJ. Like I say, it's a process. And people are connected in different ways when it comes to grieving. Some people are very, very close to them. Um, some deaths can be more emotional because you might not have even seen it coming. You didn't have time to prepare for it. If they weren't sick for an extended period of while and it just boom happens like these plane crashing, those people weren't sick. They were on a plane to go to their destination. Those can be hard to overcome. But we'll be praying for you and talk to God. He'll give you the answers you need, whatever happens. Stay prayed up. And my condolences to you, Lady JJ. Okay, now I knew I had seen something where y'all was saying condolences to her and didn't realize what had happened. And that's what I always say. We don't know the hour and the day. Why you run around here keeping up all this foolishness and not living your life and ain't got no life and don't even understand life and do you really have that kind of time? You don't know. You better get up and live your life every day before health start failing and everything else could happen to you before you leave here. Good morning, Aaron. How you doing? Good morning, Miss Deborah Silver. Miss V, this is just my opinion. God is the one I serve, and He made us. So this would include the immigrants. To they are His people, for they are His people. What right do we have to say who can and can't be here? God is on. That's true. And I totally agree with you about that. I think people should be able to travel back and forth. They should not get the benefits of being illegal here. But I can see what you're saying. If God made this, man put the laws on this. God didn't do that. Multiply abundantly. Put two people here, Adam and Eve, to multiply for generations. But is there anywhere that y'all have ever read where he says that you can't go to any land you want to? It could have been a way that it could have been set up long, long time ago, where if you enter another country and you plan on staying there, it's up on entering the country. At some point, even if you enter illegally, you should have some form on your driver's license, even on your social security card, something in this day and time should be able to let people know we shouldn't have to have ICE running all over the world paying them all this kind of money. Uh-uh. That's the people, if you're going to put a chip in, put a chip in them so you can keep up with them. I don't know. I can think of so many ways that this could have been done, and people wouldn't have been so uh, separated as family people. Because don't you know that's a hurting thing now? I was reading this morning where um, the lady is Hispanic. She was a citizen, but the husband had not finished his citizenship, applied, but it wasn't finished, and he got deported. These people have been married for years. See, that's how a lot of people are getting caught up too. Maybe they have applied. It's just not no rules. If you don't have no citizenship, then you got to go. I just don't understand it. Okay, Lady JJ, we will. We'll be praying for you. Um, do you think that they will question any of the people that have to be sent off to war? Wait, do you think that they will question any of the people that have to be sent off to fight in a war? Probably not. If you fit, we don't have a draft anymore. So if it comes down to these very people who might be illegal, I would think they would go. They would send them right on because they need them then. Now they're trying to make it look like these people are causing problems because that was him on his campaign trail. That these are the people that are coming in here doing all the murders and all this stuff. I was listening to that and I was like, man, do you know how many American citizens are in jail for doing the same thing? Way more than these people coming in here. Now, let's be real about this thing, okay? I just have to stop and take a deep breath on it. Good morning, Miss Aretha. How you doing? Condolences to you, Lady JJ from Elaine. I appreciate you. I ring the doorbell coming in on the skybox. Thank you, Lady JJ. But it's just so much going on. It'll just have you all messed up. I decided yesterday I'm not looking at it at all. Mm-mm, not right now. You know, if I wake up and I see something that, like the plane crash, that I ain't know nothing about, I'll bring that to your attention. But all of these bills that he's signing and stuff like that, they ain't going nowhere. He's not going about it legally. So they ain't going nowhere. Once I read that Congress has to pass these laws, and Congress is not passing any of them, and federal judges are blocking them, no need to worry. Mm-mm. He's probably done the most damage that he's going to do right now. He tried desperately to stop a lot of programs that were going to help the people. And I admit that there's a lot of people out there on food stamps that shouldn't be getting food stamps because you're an able bodied person. You could get up and you could go to work. What is wrong with you that you can't get up and get you a job? That you got to be on government housing? I couldn't do that. That's just not my personality. That's just not who I am. I'm able to get up and go get it, but I'd rather sit back and just get a little bit of money. Now, there are people out there who need it. If you are really, really sick and you cannot work, I can understand that. And they ain't getting enough. The ones that's really, really sick and can't go to work. That's what I don't understand. But then you got some old able-bodied person that could go to work that don't do nothing but raise havoc, cause problems, raise hell all day long, but getting a check, just like the one that's really sick. Those are the kind of things that don't make no sense to me. Not at all. So we just got a system that's just kind of showing us of the politicians of the past who let things ride too long or put laws into effect that were good for us. And it just seemed like if there is a law that was put into effect for us that's working, how can you let another president come along and take that law away? It is obvious that he is trying to take us backwards. It is obvious that he is into segregation. He will never be able to segregate us in communities now. We're there. Ain't nobody finna just take your home from you. That's unlawful. But he can segregate you on the job by using DEI to not let you get the jobs that you are truly qualified for. So those are the things that we need to be mindful of. The things that's really gonna hurt us in the long run and take many, many years of the struggle that people fought for and died for away from us. Other than that, all this other stuff, I don't care. You know, meddling with transgenders and LBGTQ and uh to me, that's petty compared to you being able to live and to eat. Because when the lady was telling me about it last night, I was just thinking, that don't really affect me. I don't have that to worry about. Uh-uh. A food shortage in the store, or messing with your food supply or your water supply is more of what I think about. Planes going up in the air and not coming back down safely to their destination. This is more of a concern to me. The pettiness of people is not a concern to me. Not when you living during these times. You don't know how you gonna make it from one day to another if you in that category of people. But you mean to tell me you got time to be off in somebody else's business? Brother and deal, you letting people know what your priorities are in life. I can't with them people. I just can't. Um, it's okay, Lady JJ. That's what we do over here. You're not interrupting my chat. I mean, people are giving you condolences and they're praying for you and they're giving you hearts. And that's the kind of chat that I'm accustomed to and the kind of chat that I want. People have bonded with you over here. We are a family over here. You know, all families have issues, they have problems. People leave the family, they come back to the family, they welcome back just like nobody told you to leave. You left on your own. Mm-mm. So accept them. It's all good with me. A lot of them are taking the Mickey Miss V, it's like that over here in the UK. A lot of them are taking the Mickey. Oh, wow. Maybe they should. That might be a good suggestion, Miss Audrey, that you brought up, that they should be tested before they get on the plane, because you can get the results right back real fast now. When I went to the last job, they did a mouth swab, and all they had to do was change colors for them to know. When it changed to blue, I was good to go. It didn't take 5 minutes. So that might be a good idea if this is a part of the problem now. That's why I'm so confused. These immigrants work, so some don't. However, wait, Miss Audrey. That's why I'm so confused. Some U.S. citizens work, some don't. What's the difference? Sorry, but this has got me thinking. Yeah, you have to stop and you got to think about it. What she's saying is she's so confused because some immigrants come in here and they work hard to accomplish the American dream. And what's wrong with them um, being able to stay here and apply for a citizenship? Now, if they don't apply for the citizenship, they should have so much time, in my opinion. And then you're going to automatically be deported. They should um, have to give addresses of where they live every time they move. We have to update stuff every time we move, and we are American citizens. I can't keep this same address here if I move somewhere else. It's simple things that could be done to track them, keep up with them. It does make you think. Good morning, Miss Sandra. And everyone just got home from the doctor. I will catch the replay. Have a blessed day. All right, Miss Sandra. And you hear me? This has been going on way too long. Allergies is what I was diagnosed with. But I also was reading this morning where there is an outbreak of respiratory diseases or infections across the country. So just know if you get it, it's going to linger because the atmosphere, for one thing, is so polluted. You got to think of all the chemicals that are expelled in the atmosphere every day. Just driving a car, gasoline fumes, planes going up, diesel fuel, the plants that's making petroleum, plastics, it's all going into the atmosphere. So no air is clean. Air travels, it don't just sit still. All the viruses that's out there in the air that we can catch, the airborne viruses, the flu, the pneumonia, the C, all of that's out there. So we're just living in a messed up world right now. Our focus is not on the right things. It's definitely not on our health. When you're taking 1.7 million uh, healthcare plans just here in Texas, that doesn't tell me the focus is right. Um, okay. So I think I got through y'all's conversations. I hope I didn't miss anybody like I did Lady JJ when she was telling me about her brother. Um, then I was seeing where there's a big rage against the buggies in Walmart. Now, first of all, why didn't Walmart just buy a few buggies? Supposedly they have new buggies. I haven't seen them. I was just in Walmart, Tasha and I, when we bought the TV and the laptop Sunday. They didn't have new buggies at that Walmart. But I was seeing this morning that They have new buggies. Everybody's complaining about them. They're too tall if you're a short person. They're too wide where they bump it into people just trying to get down the aisles. They added little things like cell phone carriers and stuff like that. But why waste money on that? The buckets they got just fine. Just replace the same kind of buckets. They've been working all this time. Put a sanitizer on there if you're gonna do anything where you can wipe down them buckets from pushing it. Because a lot of people don't wipe the handles on the buggies off, and but a baby's gonna sit up in there. You should have put some kind of sanitizer, automatic spray, where it you could have cleaned it or it could have cleaned itself. I mean, don't we have Elon with the AI technology? That's what you should have been looking into. Keep from spreading germs. What's the purpose of having a buggy, even if the person is 6 feet tall or 7 feet tall? He can still push the buggy. That's a lot of money wasted to me. I don't understand a lot of this stuff going on. I just see it and I just have to shake my head. Miss Jean said, I heard that some of our clothes that we are wearing is has plastic in them. Now, back in the day, a lot of clothes were made with plastics. You've seen a lot of celebrities go up there with plastic clothing on. That was supposed to be a thing to come to pass with clothing. That clothing was coming to a point where it was going to be disposable. It kind of came in, the theory, the thought, and it went out. I don't foresee myself being able to wear no plastic because it would be too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter. But it's no doubt in my mind that they may not, I mean, they could be used in plastic in clothing. I mean, if you can make leather, which ain't leather, why can't you also use a softer grade of plastic, which would be polypropylene, and melt it down to the index point where it wouldn't be stiff, it would be soft, and use it in there. One way to find out is put some heat to it. When we tested plastic in the lab, we had a heat index, and the plastic was no good if it couldn't perform up to that heat index. And I can see it being possible. I wouldn't want it. Mm-mm. Let me go back up. That's an excellent idea, sanitation of the buggies. Yeah, that don't you think that's a little bit more important? The sanitation of the buggies versus what I read, they were just putting a little pocket or something there to put your cell phone in on the buggy. I don't want my cell phone on no buggy with people how they are now. Pass by and just take the whole thing and go or slip it out of the pocket. I told you I was different. I don't think like everybody else. I told y'all that from day one. Some things to me just don't make sense at all. And that to me don't make sense. If the buggies you have are working and you got the buggies that people can ride in when they can't walk and they're working, maybe you should have put a little bit of bigger basket on them, like a little something on the back of them for people who getting more than just a few items because they don't really have a whole lot of room to put a lot of groceries. They got to eat too. Maybe that should have been something you should have been thinking about. Like a little cart behind the buggy that's attached onto it where they can just put that stuff. Once they get it, reach back, put it in there. They can drive up and they can get it out just like they put it in there. Or they can have help at the checkout. I can't think like that. Um, Most clothing is 70% polyester, and that's why we got all kinds of skin conditions. And that polyester statistic came about in the early 80s. Before then, you had cotton, which was big. Most people had to iron back then. When I was growing up, cotton was king. And the clothes were either cotton, silk, wool, which living in the South, not too many people needed wool clothing, although it was much colder winters in the South back then than it is now. You didn't need a lot of wool unless it was a coat. And then along came nylon, rayon, polyester, where you didn't have to iron anymore. You could take it out the dryer and hang it up, and you didn't have the wrinkles in it no more like the cotton clothing where you used to have to starch and iron. I get that it was for convenience, but I just don't think that nobody looked at the health of the people when they were making it. And yes, it is more convenient, but how is it affecting the health? I get what you're saying. Lady JJ say yes, sanitation is more important. I think so, Lady JJ. Ms.V, you should recommend this to the stores patent and get paid. I done gave y'all so many ideas since I've been out here, Miss Audrey. Um, Patents of things that would be beneficial and helpful to people in a lot of my videos out here. Um, okay, I gotta go back down now. Hey, Carla, good morning. How you doing, Carla? And Ms. Audrey said she never thought about that you have a lot of skin conditions and rashes and stuff like that. And you even see newborns coming here now where they have to put them under the light because they have a lot of skin conditions. They're coming out of a sterile womb, and the first thing you do is you touching them with gloves that's supposed to be sanitized, but actually there's only so much sanitation you can do when you taking them out the box with your hand. Do you see what I'm saying? Before you put them on. So then you're gonna take the baby, and at some point, that baby is gonna lay on a sheet. What kind of sheet is it? How long has it been sitting there? Particles of dust right away. I can see how so many things can be contracted so fast with a newborn baby coming out of a sterile womb. Okay. Hey, Miss Betty Heron. Good morning. How are you doing, Miss Betty? Okay, and it's my bush babies as of yesterday, Miss Audrey. Remember, I said my bush babies. I'm not gonna call them bush watchers anymore because I found out that a lot of those out there in the bushes after giving memberships the other day are bush babies. Okay, and they have their own reasons for being in the bushes, and I'm okay with it. I'm fine with anybody who want to come into the chat or anybody who want to stay out there in in the bushes. For a while, it bothered me. It's like, why do you support but don't come into the chat? And after a while, I'm like, why do you care? Why worry about it? People have the right to do whatever they want to do. But I appreciate you letting them know to please show love by hitting the like button. And they have. It's all good, Miss Audrey. Yeah, my bush babies. Yeah, Miss Audrey. That's what I'm gonna call them from now on. I don't want to call them bush watchers. That just if they out there watching, this it's obvious that they are watching. So I'm gonna call them bush babies, and maybe that'll make them feel a little bit better being in the bushes. Miss Betty says, been under the weather lately, but getting my hair done and watching. Okay, Miss Betty. I think we've all had a little bit of something, something out there. Like I said, the atmosphere is so dirty. And even with masks on, you can't keep them on 24/7. You know, you just can't. At some point, even in a restaurant, you got to take the mask off to eat. So you protected yourself as much as you could. Um, every time you run to the door and somebody comes in, they ain't got no mask on, but you got to go run and put one on. It's just not convenient to do that anymore. I'm not saying don't do it because you got to protect yourself at this point, but it's just very inconvenient to have one on all the time. And even people that come into your house that work, I mean, can you really ask them to go put a mask on before they come up in there to work? I don't think so. So we just got to stay prayed up during these times for every little thing and enjoy every day. That's it. Don't let this stuff get to you. Um, you're going to still go through the same changes that you've gone through without all of this going on. You still going to have to grieve in life. Baby's still going to be born. People still going to leave. You're going to still have to go to work somewhere. You're going to have to still get out on the road and drive. There's going to be a time you still going to have to get in the air, regardless of whether the plane vanishes, don't come back or not. It's just, we're living in those times. Things are just moving fast. People just don't have enough empathy for people, enough sympathy for people. Respect is out the window. They show you better than they can tell you. Just live your life is all I can say, because that's what I'm gonna do. Lady JJ said, thank you. I'm a skybox box watcher. I watch on TV and continue working around the house. I don't love y'all. Wait, I don't love y'all no less. And some days you're going through things. Exactly. Well, you don't want to come into the chat every day. And I get that. The drama channels are always going to get people that come into the chat every day because they want to hear a lie. They want to be messy. They want to do the drama. You know, that's them. That's their channel. I don't choose to have a channel like that. Um, Claudia saying, get well, Miss Betty. Okay. Morning in the Say Song. Been praying for you also in the Say Song's father is ill and had been admitted into the hospital with gout. And I didn't know very much about gout. I knew that they didn't supposed to have red meat because I had worked with this guy who had gout, used to eat a steak almost every day, and he had to get off that red meat, but it's very painful and swelling and all of that stuff. So let's keep in the safe zone in our prayers. She's gone through a lot. Um, I was listening to her live the other day where she said that she's not back into her house yet. It's been a year and a half. Okay. So see how blessed we are that we've been in our house for the whole year and a half. She's been out. A lot of things came in that were wrong from other places that she had ordered them from with this man in office, Nothing is working like it should. So getting it returned and getting it back, and among other deaths that I know that she's had in her family. So let's keep her in our prayers, please, in the safe zone. Um, she's speaking to everybody. Miss Audrey say Ms.V. Chef Carla Hall spoke on respiratory infection. I will send you the video. Okay. Thank you, Miss Audrey. Um, then I'm looking at all the stores around in this area that are closing. If big businesses are closing, y'all probably have this one in your area, Party City, are closing 81 stores here in Texas. What does that tell you? People ain't buying party stuff right now. People must be buying food. People paying their bills. People putting gasoline in their cars. And they doing extravagant parties with all the themes and stuff like that. We going back to old times where we just get together now and have some food and some drinks and good conversations and some music. And that's probably the way it needs to be. Because all that stuff is just wasted money. You put it up, it's pretty, it's an eye catcher, it's something to talk about. But where does it go? In most cases, in the trash can. You might keep some of it, and you just keep it in because the next year you want something different. I think we're beginning to get back to uh, the olden days where people were able to save more money because they didn't spend on frivolous things. Um, our big lots are already gone, Lady JJ. I did a video back last year when I was going in the big lots to look for something. And I took y'all there to big lots. And then I didn't get what I went in there to get. And the next week I went back for it and it was closed. And it's right here in a very populated area. It was right off of Nassau Road 1 in a strip center. And that's a main drag through this area. And I don't know what happened because they were getting lots of business. Now, I don't know if they've closed them all throughout the Houston area or not, but the one closest to me is gone. And it's been gone since last year. And when I was talking to the lady at the checkout, she was telling me that they were going to be closing a lot of them. So I read this morning where 81 of them are gone. Times are changing. We got to change with the times. Everyone, in 12 more days, there is a holiday called Ms.V, aka Pressure Birthday Countdown, getting closer. Yes, it is. Miss Archer more excited about my birthday than me. Hold on, y'all. But anyway, y'all, I have an appointment, and yes, my birthday is coming up. Don't really have nothing special I want to do. I'm just glad to be here. I'm just glad to be in my present mind and doing what I do. So, y'all, I have an appointment. I'm running a little late for it because I wasn't keeping up with the time. So I'm going to get off and we'll come back and talk later. Thank y'all for coming in, listening to me this morning, hitting the like button, like, share, and become a member if you choose to. And we'll talk a little bit later. Have a great day, everybody.